Hey everyone, I'm Sebastian from Cinemageddon Reviews, and welcome to another installment of Stories from the Wasteland. This is where I go into COVID-infested movie theaters and take a look at new releases to determine as to whether or not they're worth your time and money. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at one of 2020's most critically acclaimed movies, Nomadland. Directed by Chloe Zhao and produced by Frances McDormand, who also stars in the movie, Nomadland follows the devastating impact of the shutdown of the US gypsum plant in Empire, Nevada back in 2011 following the Great Recession. The movie tells the story of a former employee named Fern, played by Frances McDormand, who sells most of her possessions in order to purchase a van that she can use to travel around the country looking for work, following the closure of the plant, which saw her and several other on-site workers get forcibly evicted. The film follows her as she goes from job to job, meeting other van dwellers, often referred to as nomads by other people, who chose to set out on the open road for their own personal reasons, be it to live out the remainder of their lives exploring the country, or having been forced into the lifestyle by unfortunate circumstances. This is a heartbreaking and depressing movie that shines a spotlight on those that have either been left behind by capitalist America or chose to take control of their lives however it is that they can. And the movie is so determined to show the audience a genuine glimpse of their everyday lives. Despite the movie being based on the book of the same name by Jessica Bruder, the story is 100% fictional, but the people are not. Aside from McDormand and actor David Strathairn, every nomad that appears on screen interacting with Fern is real. Real people, real nomads who present themselves with no shame or embarrassment about their lifestyle or how they got there. They're real people, and the movie isn't afraid to let them be exactly that. There is definitely a feeling of sincerity with the way that the film is shot and directed. They may not have homes, but they're not homeless, and they're not acting like they are either. They all adapted to this way of life and found the beauty of nature and the outside world to be more than worth the price of having to clean up after their own messes. The production of the film didn't cheapen out on the experience either. Both the cast and crew lived in vans over the course of the shoot, while director Chloe Zhao was splitting time between working on this movie as she was also busy with Marvel's Eternals movie coming out this year. The cinematography for this movie is breathtaking, and the direction makes you feel like you are out in the field with these people. Not characters, people. The outdoor and landscape shots are some of the best I've ever seen since The Revenant, with the added bonus of having a heartbreaking performance by Frances McDormand, who dominates every scene she's in with the same level of grace that she maintained even during some of her most challenging roles over the years. The musical composition also deserves high praise for the way it manages to tell the story along with the visuals instead of relying on dialogue to explain what is happening. This is easily one of the best musical compositions I've heard during the entire year. Nomadland is first and foremost a character study, and one that I personally felt more emotionally invested towards than I anticipated. It is a movie that asks the question, what do you do when life decides to push you away and tell you to get out? How do you live with yourself after your whole world ends? Do you swallow your pride and move in with a relative, or do you maintain your self-respect and live out your life on your own terms? If I can be real for just a second here, I work in a call center, and my current job means that I have to deal with several employees who each are on the cusp of turning 62 and 65. Many of these people have worked their entire lives, and that hard work is often shown to be as unforgiving and unrewarding because of either unfortunate decisions done by them or horrible circumstances that happened out of their control. The movie gives you a good glimpse of these people's reality. Capitalist America does not care about the poor or disenfranchised any more than it cares for the elderly or the boomers who have worked hard with no protection or coverage to fall back on. Not everyone gets the luxury of working at a steady gig that respects and cares for their well-being, and certainly nobody can blame them for feeling that they got screwed over by outside forces. The Great Recession was a colossal nightmare that put many innocent people in a terrible position, all around the globe, not just in the States. But often we don't get to hear about all these other stories or the people getting affected by it, mostly because, and I hate to say it, the biggest victims of economic downfall are people who are often easily ignored by the media. Take it from a guy who works in this department, not a lot of people are going to be able to afford to retire at 65. They're not going to have the kind of income necessary to be able to fall back on it. For a majority of these people, none of this was a choice. Sure, for many of these people, it was their decision to go out and live in a van instead of living, say, in a church where they have nice beds where they can sleep in. But one doesn't choose to have their world turned upside down, be it the loss of a job or the loss of a loved one. What Nomadland does so impeccably well is paint a respectful picture of the kind of people who've been forced to live under the kind of circumstances that life put them through and how they chose to live their lives after. Fern as a character goes through so many layers that slowly get peeled as the story continues. And the ending of the movie is a great reminder that just because the story is over for us, for these people, it's just another day out in the Badlands. Nomadland is a beautiful, if not heartbreaking, example of how film can be used to shine a spotlight on those often ignored. It's gorgeously shot, wonderfully directed, has an amazing score, and an even more amazing performance by Frances McDormand. And it is definitely one that I did not expect to hit close to home as much as it did. It isn't often that I find a movie like this that had me reflecting personally on several things, and while the film can be a tad slow for some people, it doesn't waste a single second on screen giving you exactly what you need. This is easily, without any doubt, one of the best movies of the last year and one that I'm very happy to not have missed after its release. I'm gonna give Nomadland a well-deserved 10 out of 10. The movie has just gotten released theatrically wherever it is available due to COVID-19, and for those interested in seeing it but unwilling to leave your house due to health concerns, the movie is currently available for streaming on Hulu. And if you're lucky and are able to watch it in theaters but are also taking every necessary precaution possible, the film has also been released on select theaters on IMAX. And believe me, that is an experience I wish I could sit through. As of this moment, the film has been nominated for 4 Golden Globe Awards and has won many others over the past year. The film is currently on my high list of Oscar predictions for 2021, alongside Mank, Judas and the Black Messiah, Soul, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like what you see and you want to see more, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. I'm Sebastian from Cinemageddon Reviews signing out, and to all of you out there, see you down the road.